Hey, good morning everyone. Welcome back to the channel. What we got going on today is we're going to do a little bit of preventive maintenance on our 2012 Chevy Cruze. What I got was a check engine light, and it came back with a code of P0302, which corresponds to a number 2 cylinder misfire. The car has right at about 80,000 miles on it. The plugs have never been changed, and so for an Iridium plug, that's about when they should be. So I figure with all those things combined, it's time to change the plugs. And so I'm going to show you how to do that. First off, I've got a number 30 Torx bit, and that's to take the coil pack loose. I have 4 new spark plugs. We'll change all 4 of them. And I do have some anti-seize for the spark plugs when we put them back in. I have my torque wrench. I'm going to torque these to, I think, about 17 foot-pounds. That's, you know, probably a pretty good number. I haven't looked it up, but that seems about right to me. And then I have my socket and ratchet to remove them. And really, that is it. It's a really simple process, pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and dive in and get it done. Okay, really it's pretty easy. I've got a couple of cameras running, so hopefully this will turn into some good stuff. This cover right here, you just pop it off. It just has these clips that hold it in place. And get that out of the way. And then we'll take our 30 Torx, and it goes right into that slot right there. And we'll take out these first screws. Second screw, gonna need both hands to reach in here and pull the coil pack up. It does take a little bit of force, not a whole bunch, but that's interesting. But let's go ahead and pull spark plugs. Okay, I went and grabbed these this plier. I'm just going to gently reach down there, grab the spark plug, pull it out. Oh yeah, this thing is in, definitely needs to be replaced. It was definitely time to replace those spark plugs, and this one this boot is messed up. I'm not sure I'm understanding this at all, other than to know that this boot is messed up. And there's parts in there that I'm not sure belong in there, so let me pull one of these other ones off. No, that one's not. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get the spark plugs prepped to go back in, and then I'm going to see if I can find spark plug boots for this thing, because one of them is definitely bad. Okay, so after a little bit of research, we discovered that we're probably going to get a new, just replace the coil pack, unless we can get the boots, because this boot is messed up. Let me show you what happened. Okay, with these boots, this goes down over the spark plug. This is the contact point that goes inside the boot, and of course this boot is split, and so it's supposed to be, I don't know, one way or another on there. What I suspect happened is when the dealership was, because we had the valve cover replaced, and it's a one-piece plastic unit, so they replaced the whole thing and had to take this all off when they did it. And so what I suspect is when they did it, they didn't put it back together the way it should have gone, because this piece goes up in here, but it's inside the boot, and well, when the boot's whole, so this whole thing will connect up inside there, and then this goes down over the spark plug, and so you get your connection with the spark plug. But there was an extra spring jammed up in there, up against the spark plug, and so what happened was it caused the boot to deflect or deform, and so it baffles me. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know who did the work, but this is why dealerships get a bad name, because this is crap work. This is, yeah. And so anyway, yeah, that's kind of annoying. But anyway, so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and I put some anti-seize on that spark plug. We're going to go ahead and put spark plugs in, and since my little rubber boot thingy on my plug socket doesn't work, I'm gently dropping the spark plug in with the pliers, and then I will put it in all the way with the socket. So we'll leave that in there. The reason that I want to put the plugs back in is because now we get to go to the parts store and see if we can't find a replacement boot or boots, but I don't want to leave the cylinders open to the elements while we do that. Now with the anti-seize, it does not take much. Just a little tiny dab, the stuff will go a long ways. So all right, torque wrench set to 17 foot-pounds. And it does not take much torque on these spark plugs, so don't reef them on there. And that's it. When it hits, it's all you need. There we go. All right, that's all there is to that. Spark plugs are in. They are torqued, and now we get to go see if we can't find some plug boots for this thing. All right, we got 2 new boots. We're back from the parts store, And so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of dielectric grease on the end of the Q-tip here, and then just gently, we don't want to get crazy with it, but just kind of dab it a little bit in there, and then give it a swirl. And the idea is we'll put that grease on there so that it slides over the spark plugs easy, and it slides, you know, the spark plug will slide into the boot easy enough, and it just kind of goes together easy and comes apart easy, because we already know that we got to get a couple more boots. They'll be here next week. And so we'll pull it back out, put those boots, the new boots on. These ones are in good shape, but I'm not going to tug on them because I don't want to tempt fate. And I know we've already done enough of that today. So, all right. So there we have it. It's ready to go back in. All right. Let's go ahead and grab our coil pack. It's right here. And we're going to pull that out of the way a little bit. But we want to go easy and make sure that the boots go over the spark plugs as it goes in. And then we want it to kind of settle down on there. We'll put this wiring harness back on. And then we'll drop these screws back in. And tightening the coil pack down is going to make sure that we have the coil pack and the plug seated to the proper depth. All right, and I'm not putting them down super tight, just tight enough. And really that's about it. It's all done. Make sure, yep, everything that I need to have back on there is back on there. So let me go ahead and start this thing up and see what it does. And there we go. All right, the last thing we have to do is to go ahead and put this cover back on. And that's one of the tabs, one there, and then where's the other tab? They're right here and right here. So, all right, there we go. We replaced the spark plugs and a couple of the plug boots on our 2012 Chevy Cruze. It was a really straightforward project. The plugs are all on top. You pull the cover off, pull the coil off, pull the spark plugs out, put the new ones in, and just kind of basically reverse the process to put it all back together. I'd say that pretty much anybody with some basic knowledge, basic abilities should be able to do that job. It's relatively inexpensive. The 4 spark plug boots, because the ones were torn before I got to it, those spark plug boots for the whole set of 4 is about 22 bucks at O'Reilly's. The spark plugs are about $9 a piece. I got those at Napa. And then I had the dielectric grease. I normally have a few tubes of that around the shop. Same with the anti-seize compound. I have a few tubes of that around the shop all the time. And then just a little bit of time. Probably, honestly, start to finish would have taken me less than an hour had I not had to make 2 trips to the parts store. And I live 17 miles away from the parts store, so, you know, it's kind of one of them deals. But, yeah. Sure is pretty out here, so that makes it worthwhile. Anyway, hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you've not already done so, please hit that subscribe button, hit a like on the video, and then put a comment down below. Tell me what you thought, ideas for other episodes, different things, whatever. I appreciate all the comments that I can get. Again, thanks for watching. See y'all on down the road.